morning, everybody. Today's Saturday, January 28th, and welcome to the Morning Cup of Joe O Call Live. So I hope everyone's registered for that call. I mean, we only have a couple hundred people on the call. So if you're not registered or you heard about it, it's at gogreenpowerco.com. www.gogreenpowerco.com. Register for emails and then plug in to that call. I'm here to talk about my why. And basically we're starting the 8 steps to duplicate. I have about 10 minutes here to talk about why we do this business. And what's great about our system now is that we really are going to attract quality, highly successful entrepreneurial people. Some have done network marketing before, some would never in a million years consider it. But what's attractive now is that we have a system. That we go to somebody and say, hey, I know you're busy. I know you're running restaurants or your own buildings and all that, but we have a system. It's not a lot of heavy lifting. Just follow the system and watch what happens. So the first step is your why. And a lot of people say, we sit down with people, Frank and I knew somebody just signed up or says, I'm gonna sign up tonight when I go home. And I said, well, you gotta write down your why. And I go, why are you doing this business? And people say, well, what do you mean, why am I doing this business? I'm doing this business to make money. It's too vague. You have to get specific. You have to really write down why you're going to do this. Why are you going to go to a meeting on a Tuesday night, in the rain and sleet? Why are you going to make that phone call? Why are you going to sit there in that barber's chair and actually start a conversation about energy deregulation versus just sitting there and say, let me just take this 15 minutes off and get my hair cut? Why are you going to go that extra yard? Is it because you want to put your kids through college, because you want to get out of debt, because you want to move your parents closer to you? I mean, everybody has a different why. Why are you doing this business? I mean, why are you here on a Saturday morning? You could be home. Okay, and we talk about that all the time. Why do people go to school at night? Why do people go to get their law degree? Why do people go get their master's? Why do people finish college? They do that, they put that extra time in, that extra 10 or 12 hours a week. They pay $50,000 in tuition to get better educated, to make themselves more marketable. That's the kind of why you need in this business. You have to have conviction. So otherwise, you'll quit. Or you'll be doing it at 50%. So it's very important to write down your why and keep your why in front of you. Now, my why has changed. I mean, this has been such a blessing to me, this business, that your why constantly changes, just like your list will constantly change. When you make that list of 100, 150 people, you circle customer, get back in touch in 2 weeks, he's out of town, call him in May, whatever it is. It's a living document. It's like the Constitution. It's a living document. So is your why. Your why right now can be totally different just 6 months from now. My why when I started was simple. It was to get out of debt and feel good about the fact that I have to put 3 kids through college. That was my why. Frank and I were in the title business, and 2008, 2009 were rough years. We literally borrowed against our house to make payroll. I mean, it's not a comfortable feeling coming up with $25,000 every 2 weeks to make payroll and then let people go and wondering, is this business gonna survive? So we went into debt thinking that the mortgage business was gonna come back. And it never did. And thank God Viridian was there for us. So my first why was to get out of debt. And it happened. So now I am out of debt. So now I have to worry about my kids. I have 3 kids go to college. Right? I'm saving money now. The colleges are almost all paid off. I'm out of debt. So now I had to redefine my why. Now my why is to help people. To help people in need and to help you. And I'll talk about that in that order. I mean, my passion has always been children. Okay, so Frank and I decided once we got to a certain amount of like 6 figures a month, which came sooner than we thought, we were going to go to the food bank and hand out food to families in need. And it breaks my heart. Thank you. That's okay. As a fat Italian kid, who's never ever been hungry, it blows my mind for someone actually, and you see these kids, 3 months old, 3 years old, and the mom comes in and they have no food. So we volunteer our time as well. I mean, we write checks here and there. We all write checks, but writing a check is easy. So actually showing up at these events and handing out on Thursday morning, handing out the food at the food shelter. That was part of my why. Now it's gone on to even more. The reason why I can't be in Chicago on February 10th and 11th is now my wife and I got involved in St. Jude's Hospital, kids with cancer. I mean, could you think of anything more, disturbing than like a 4-year-old kid with no hair because, what did this poor kid do to get cancer? So my passion now is not to just write a check, but to actually be on the committee and try to, recruit people at $500 a plate to get people to speak there. That's my why, is to help people now. Because I am financially secure, thanks to Michael and Viridian in a few short years. But now, it's kind of like a trickle down, okay? If I can help you guys get to where you want, all right, the more people here in this room that get out of debt, the more people, then you can do those charitable things. And I'm sure a lot of you guys do a lot of charitable things. I hear stories, single moms who do this, do that, and they volunteer 10 hours a week, and God bless you people, we need you, especially in this economy. But this business can give you financial freedom. And that will trickle down. If everybody in this room, a year from now is that much better, you can write bigger checks and spend more time with people who need it. So that's my why. My why keeps growing, the why, it just keeps evolving. And that's what this business is all about. Frank and I are relentless, with helping people. You want to get to where you want to be? We'll help you. People think, we're busy all the time, right? People begin to, wow, Joe called me right back. Truth is, guys, if you don't call us, we have nothing to do. Right? I mean, seriously, this business, it takes on a life of its own. Bob Q said it best last time. He's like, when you grow it the right way, it just takes on a life of its own. There's people in this room that are more talented than Frank and I, and it just takes on a life of its own. Did you realize that every single person in this room can retire in 5 years? Every single person has the opportunity to retire. And I don't know what that means to you. That could be, $1 million in the bank, or $5 million in the bank, or $50,000 a month, residual. Because you're going to get paid residuals, literally, for decades. I mean, how many people in this room think that Michael Falquest is going to screw this up? Is there any chance he's going to screw this up? No way. He wakes up in the morning and he pinches himself just like I do. So everybody in this room can retire in 5 years, 2 years, 3 years, whatever you want. But make sure you have a why. Get back to why you're actually doing this, because that'll push you through those rough days. The days where you really don't want to, you just sat on a couch and there's a meeting in Woodbridge. Do I really want to go? I had 2 prospects and they both canceled. Go. Go anyway. That's what Bob Maneve will tell you. He went to every single meeting he could get his hands on. Why? Because you learn your craft. Somebody said something a different way, a different angle, and you develop your craft. Hey, did you know that the utility now lets us choose where our energy comes from? You can actually choose more wind and solar. You stay with the utility, nothing changes, and you can actually request more wind and solar. Do you recycle? Well, if you recycle, you're going to love this. Think about that, guys. Make that part of your fabric, because that's the truth. It's not switching from the utility. It's just staying with the utility and requesting that they don't burn so much coal and they don't make so much nuclear waste. Learn your craft. Have a why. Make your why make you cry. Keep it in front of you and keep going. And I want to see you all retired in 5 years. Thank you.
Yeah.